Remember to protect yourself when sharing others' content. I wish I could tell you that you can flat out recycle everybody's content without any legal problems. Of course, if I were to say that to you, I would be lying. I would be putting you in harm's way. Don't do that. If you're going to be curating tried and proven viral content, you have to protect yourself legally. How do you do this? The power of CTTO. What does CTTO stand for? It stands for credit to the owner. When you post this, you are saying to the world that you don't own the content and that you are attributing ownership to the person who actually owns the content. Now, understand that when people post CTTO, they don't just do it in passing. The ones who do this right will link to the source. For example, if you are posting a funny cat video and it turns out that it was a video originally made popular by a person with a personal account, include their personal account link in your curated post. Put CTTO and then link to that person. This way, people would know that that person is the owner. You are just curating this content. This is a very important part of getting legal protection. You have to give proper attribution. You cannot give the impression that you created this content yourself. Make sure to comment on the content. Under U.S. copyright law, as well as Canadian intellectual property law, if you use other people's protected intellectual property, you can gain some protection for lawsuits when you do certain things. First of all, your sharing of the content must have some sort of commentary. Either you're sharing it for news value or you're sharing it to foster conversation. This is how the fair use doctrine works. It is all about opening up copyright law to allow for genuine discussion. This way, when you comment, you are triggering the fair use doctrine. Now, I'm not saying that your comment should be very short and shallow. That's probably not going to protect you. If you are going to be curating other people's viral content, your comment must be content in and of itself. It must be that useful. It must have some sort of impact, and it almost must add value to the content that you are curating. You can't just say, check this out, or haha, funny. That's not going to work. Use this tremendous opportunity to talk about your niche. Use this opportunity to highlight your expertise and level of authority in your niche. This way, you can kill two birds with one stone. On the one hand, you qualify the curated content under the fair use doctrine. This makes it harder for the owner of the content to sue you for copyright infringement. Remember, under international intellectual property law, the only person who has a right to copy and distribute the copies of his or her original work is the content creator. Alternatively, that person may assign those rights to another person. Those are the only people who have legal rights under copyright law. The fair use doctrine makes certain exceptions in certain contexts regarding that protection. This way, you can freely share somebody's content, provided that you are adding commentary, adding value, or you are positioning it to foster discussion. It is also important to make sure that the content that you are sharing is not the whole content. For example, you are probably going to run into trouble if you share a complete movie that somebody else produces. But if you're going to share snippets of the video or screenshots like the stuff that you see on BuzzFeed, you probably will be okay. You have to look at how much of the content you are quoting or sampling. If you use the whole content, then you may be in trouble. It is also important that you link to the source. This way, they benefit from your curation. This creates a win-win situation. In most cases, third-party content producers really don't mind. In fact, they would love to encourage you. Why? The more you spread their content, the more traffic they get. The more you popularize their content, the stronger their brand becomes. You're doing them a big favor. Things get a little dicey when you're sharing snippets of popular movies or TV shows. That's when things can get a little touchy. Do yourself a big favor and make sure that there is commentary with the content that you are curating. Make sure that you use the acronym CTTO to protect yourself. Also, if you get any kind of complaint or notification from the rights owner, pull the curated content down. It's not worth it. You don't want to blow all the cash that you have managed to build up creating your own distinct online brand because you don't want to let go of curated content. If you're doing this right, you should have a lot of curated materials anyway. You're not really losing much if the rights owner tells you to pull down a few posts on your social media accounts. When you get such notifications, make sure you act on them promptly. Don't sit on them. Don't blow them off. You're just going to make things harder on yourself if they decide to sue you. Make no mistake, intellectual property right law is no joke. There are fines that you can face, and you might even get jail time. It can get that bad. So do yourself a big favor and make sure you protect yourself adequately when sharing other people's content. Now, please understand that what makes this really murky is the fact that when content goes viral on the internet, it usually changes hands so many times. In fact, this may have happened so much that you really don't know who the real owner is. You really don't know who created that content in the first place. Do yourself a big favor and make sure that you follow the rules above and you are very responsive to take down notices or notifications. How to share viral content on Facebook. Now that you have a good understanding of your grand strategy for sharing viral content and leveraging content curation to build up your social media and blog following, here is a specific video on viral content marketing on Facebook. Post viral content first on your Facebook page. The first thing that you need to do is to post the curated content on your Facebook page. This is the first place you're going to post your material. You then take the link of that created post and republish to other parts of Facebook as well as Twitter and other social media platforms using tools like Hootsuite. This handy tool enables you to upload a massive amount of content to your social media accounts and space out the publication of that content. You can also play around with the hashtags, comments, and titles. The great thing about Hootsuite is you don't have to babysit your social media accounts. You tell it when it should publish. You just need to designate the time and set the software and pretty much forget it. Once you have uploaded all your content, you can pretty much just sit back and let Hootsuite do its thing. When people visit your social media accounts, they get the impression that you're actively operating your account because you're publishing at a regular rate. What they don't know is that you have actually set this up well in advance and it was software that published this material. This is a great way of automating your operations, so you don't have to physically or manually do the work. A lot of people actually make great passive income just by using tools like Hootsuite to post curated content on their social media accounts. These then drive traffic to their mailing lists. These lists are then automated to send offers at specific times. The owners and operators of these systems just sit back and collect cash. I know, sounds pretty awesome, but you have to have a system as well as a clear plan in order to pull this off. When to republish. If you did your homework correctly, you should have a large collection of viral content in your niche. This stuff is tried and proven. These materials are known to attract a tremendous amount of eyeballs in your niche. The problem is, you don't want to keep republishing the same content over and over. For example, if you have 300 links and you have set up Hootsuite to tweet out your materials at a rate of 6 times a day, this means that after 50 days, your list will get republished again. You may want to tweet more frequently, like 12 times a day, and this would cut down your republish date to 25 days. Can you see the problem here? You're probably going to lose followers if it becomes obvious to them that you're just recycling the same content over and over. This is why I suggest that you get a huge amount of content so that even if you are publishing at a very frequent clip, every single day, your republication is not going to look obvious. Why republish anyway? You can do things the hard way and get just a massive list of content and set up your system so that you'll never publish the same content more than once. You're more than welcome to do that. It takes a lot of work, time, and effort. A lot of people don't do things that way. Instead, they would rather republish. As long as you have enough materials to recycle, you should be fine. If you're going to be republishing once every 2 months, that should be safe. Still, why should you republish? Well, when you do this, you get many bites of the apple. Maybe for whatever reason your initial publication did not get your followers' attention. Hey, it happens. If you republish, you get another chance. Also, when viral content gets hot, it gets cold very quickly. But this doesn't necessarily mean that people who are originally interested in it have completely lost all interest. When you republish at a later date, you might awaken interest. People might think that it's a nice throwback and share it, and this can give you new fans. Regardless, if enough time has passed since you originally published the curated content, you give your fans the impression that they are seeing new content. This is always a good thing. Always include a link to your conversion page with your curated viral content. Every time you publish curated viral content, you should link to the source, you should give proper attribution, but you should also link to your conversion page. This is your mailing list. If you can't do that, then Facebook will publish your curated content as something published by your Facebook page. This might be good enough. If you are sharing the direct post on your Facebook page to related Facebook groups or other pages, People might click to like your page and possibly get your updates. Post your Facebook page's URLs on niche-related Facebook groups. Now that you have published a lot of content on your Facebook page, take the URLs of those posts and share them on Facebook groups in the same niche. Now, please understand that you cannot do this on day one. You can't just join a group and all of a sudden start dropping links. You're going to look like a spammer. People are not going to like what you're doing. You probably will get banned sooner rather than later. I suggest that you don't even try to do that. Instead, join these niche-related Facebook groups and engage with group members. Ask a lot of questions. Tell them what you know and otherwise carry yourself like a respected member of the community. Remember, these Facebook groups are nothing but online message boards. They are like little online communities. When you join these places, conduct yourself like a responsible community member. Add value to the conversations through your posts. This is how you establish credibility. Once you have established credibility and authority, you would then be able to share some of your content in addition to the direct third-party links that you're sharing. You should do that to cover your tracks. You don't want to be obvious about this. You don't want to be the account that is so transparent. People can easily see that you are just promoting your Facebook page. People don't like that. It's only a matter of time before they ban you. If you're going to be dropping links, a small percentage of that should be your Facebook page, but the vast majority should be high-quality content. It really fosters discussion. That's how you build credibility and how you are given more permission to keep posting your own stuff. You have to earn this by becoming credible first. Facebook Viral Content Strategy. If I haven't been obvious yet, let me spell it out. For Facebook, your viral content strategy should first involve posting your curated viral content on your Facebook page. Next, you share that content on niche-related groups. This will then drive likes to your Facebook page. You want Facebook users to find themselves on your page. By giving them enough information, some of them might like the page, and this means that whenever you publish an update, a certain percentage of your page fans might see your content. This can then lead to those people seeing your conversion page links and finding themselves on your blog or your squeeze page. Next, auto-publish content on your Facebook page to maximize eyeballs on your conversion page. In other words, keep posting on a regular basis to your Facebook page. Don't feel guilty about this. Please understand that only a tiny minority of your Facebook fans will get to see your updates. The vast majority of people who have liked your page will not see your updates unless they choose the option See First when they first like your page. But generally speaking, only a small percentage of your page fans will see your updates, so it helps to publish on a regular basis and to publish a lot. As long as the quality is there and as long as the quality is high enough to drive engagement, you should not suffer from this. However, if you just publish stuff that has absolutely no engagement, Facebook might actually penalize you. If you think very few of your fans are seeing your content now, wait until Facebook punishes you for low engagement. Even fewer of your fans will see your content after the penalty. Next, get clicks on your conversion page. This is how you get list members. Finally, you auto-publish your email updates and you get conversions passively. That's how you play the game. You basically just send out email updates to your mailing list on an automated basis. That's how you drive traffic to posts with ads, or you get traffic to actual sales pages when people buy something from these sales pages so you can get a commission. If you're selling your own products and they buy something, you get 100% of whatever money they paid. Map out your overall Facebook viral strategy using the sequence I described above. How to share your viral content on Twitter. Post the viral Twitter content on your Twitter timeline. After you have posted the actual viral content, video or link or picture, tag influential accounts in your niche. These are people who already follow this type of content. Tag them to get their attention. If you've done your research properly, you should know who these people are. Chances are you are syndicating some of their content as well. Also, by this point, you already know what kind of niche-related hashtags people interested in your type of content would use. Use these hashtags. The trick here is to use Hootsuite or any other type of auto-publishing tool to rotate your hashtag. I cannot emphasize this enough. You have to rotate your hashtags. Why? When people are interested in a particular niche or a particular narrow range of subjects, they use hashtags. They are like the search engine keyword phrases you are targeting. The problem is, you don't know which hashtags will drive the most traffic. You're completely in the dark. This is why you have to rotate your hashtags. Eventually, when you look at your statistics and you just look at the timing of the traffic coming from Twitter, you should be able to connect the dots. You should be able to take an educated guess as to which specific hashtag set accounted for the niche search and traffic. Don't forget to rotate your hashtags. Failure to do so is going to be a missed opportunity. You're going to be blowing it big time if you don't bother to rotate hashtags. You should already know what hashtags are hot in your niche. It's a good idea to keep collecting hashtag ideas and rotating among them to see which ones actually produce the most results. Fill up your Twitter feed using auto-publishing tools like Hootsuite. The good thing about Hootsuite is that you can use a database file using the CSV format to input content data. You don't have to manually enter each piece of content that you want Hootsuite to publish for you. If you're using MS Excel and saving it as a CSV, make sure that you are rotating your hashtags. Make sure that you are resharing or retweeting certain content and then rotate the hashtags. Even if you are not retweeting curated content, you should still rotate your hashtags. Again, the key here is to constantly experiment to see which hashtag actually accounts for the surge of traffic your conversion page has gotten. Do this while auto-publishing. While Hootsuite is doing its thing, you shouldn't just sit back, relax, and wait for the cash to come in. I know that's what a lot of make money online books or internet marketing riches books tell you to do. That's the hype. That's definitely the dream. Unfortunately, dreams are often very different from the reality. If you want your curated viral content social media account marketing campaign to be successful, you have to roll up your sleeves and do something on the side. While your stuff is auto-publishing, look for competitors' accounts on Twitter. You should already have a list of these. Look at their followers and pay attention to the most active ones. These are the ones that are basically tweeting every single day and then filter them based on their niche specificity. Look at their Twitter feeds. What do these followers normally tweet about? If you can see a tight correlation between your content and the stuff that they are constantly tweeting or retweeting, follow them. This is crucial. Follow them. Here is how this can lead to you getting more followers on Twitter. Generally speaking, when people follow other accounts, a certain percentage of the people they follow will in turn follow them back. This is follow me and I follow you. It's all about reciprocity. Now, this should not be surprising. After all, when you are nice to somebody, chances are quite good that they will be nice back to you. That's how the human mind is wired. When people follow you back automatically on Twitter, that's just reciprocity in action in the digital world. This is a very powerful form of promotion because the people following you back are more likely to be in your niche target audience. These are people who are more likely to be truly interested in what you have to share. Eventually, they might keep seeing your conversion page tweets enough times that they take action. Just remember that a part of the reason why the total number of click-throughs on Twitter is relatively low compared to other social media platforms is because of the rule of 8. In other words, people get so bombarded with so much information on Twitter that they basically have to keep seeing the same piece of content over and over again for them to think that it's okay to click on it. In their minds, sheer familiarity means that somehow the content is somewhat trustworthy to take a chance on that content. Whatever the case may be, keep retweeting your stuff using tools like Hootsuite while at the same time directly following active followers of your competitors. Focus on this strategy. It is really important to make sure that you auto-publish only niche-specific viral content. I mean, you should already understand this, but if you are still fuzzy on the concept, you have to make sure that all the curated materials that you are producing are on point. They have to be niche-specific. Also, they have to be tried and proven. Otherwise, they have already been shared and retweeted. This is not new stuff. This is not stuff that somebody just came up with. This is material that has been going around because you know people are interested in this stuff. Next, you build an organic following of niche-specific followers by reverse engineering your competitors' following by just simply going through your competitors, looking at their follower list, and cherry-picking the most niche-specific active followers. If your stuff is truly niche-specific and you make it a point to add value to the lives of people checking out your materials, don't be surprised that a comparatively high proportion of people you followed will end up following you back. The name of the game here is to get niche followers by using niche-specific content. This can increase the chances of you succeeding with your conversion page content. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, but if you follow all the steps above and your followers are very niche-focused, Your chances of converting these people into actual buyers can be quite high. Filter your content formats to go viral on many platforms. By simply taking content from one platform and then sharing it on another, you can get quite a nice flow of traffic. Now, please understand, as I mentioned at least twice in this training, just because a piece of content is popular on one platform doesn't automatically mean that it will gain traction in another. Always remember that. With that in mind, here are just some common strategies for resharing content from one platform to another. YouTube video strategy. The first thing that you need to do is to find videos on YouTube that have a high amount of views. This is the first indication of success. This video is not some sleeper video. It's not a video that was published and was quickly forgotten. This video actually gets a lot of attention in your niche on YouTube. Next, pay attention to the comments. How many comments are there? Usually, when people comment, it means that they are emotionally invested in the video. It either registered at some level or it struck them in some way. Whatever the case may be, it had an impact on them. Look for high comment videos and, finally, look at the number of likes. This is not as important as the number of comments and the number of views. Again, you need to double check that these YouTube videos that you're considering republishing are really specific to your niche. Once you are sure that this is the kind of video you would want to curate, download these and share on your Facebook and Twitter accounts. Again, make sure to protect yourself by including CTTO and linking to the YouTube channel of the source. When sharing on Twitter, rotate the hashtag. Similarly, you can download Facebook and Twitter video content and share on your YouTube channel. You're basically just doing things in reverse. Still, you're going to have to protect yourself by posting an attribution link next to the CTTO text. Picture strategy. Find viral infographic or picture content on Instagram and Pinterest. Share these on Facebook and Twitter with proper attribution. Do the same with viral Facebook and Twitter photo content, but on the Instagram and Pinterest platforms. Again, make sure you rotate your hashtags. Make sure that this stuff is really niche specific. Also, if you find viral content in your niche on Twitter and Facebook, look for accounts on Pinterest and Instagram that target those niches. Look at their followers and try to follow those followers and possibly get them to follow you back. This way, you're working on two levels. You're not just shuffling curated content around. You're also building up an organic niche following for your accounts. All content must eventually lead to your conversion accounts. On your YouTube channel, you should have a link to your squeeze page or blog. This can be in your About page. This can also be in the description of every video you upload on YouTube. Please understand that most people don't click on the About link on YouTube. They might like your videos, but they might not bother to get more information about you. Do yourself a big favor and make sure that every time you upload a video, put your squeeze page URL or blog URL in the description section. Twitter strategy. On your Twitter account, make sure you include your squeeze page URL or your blog URL in your bio profile and rotate among these in the content that you are sharing. The same applies to your Facebook page, as well as your Facebook group posts. It's all about maximizing eyeballs to your squeeze page or your blog homepage URL. Of course, as I've mentioned several times before, when you are republishing curated content, you have to be hands-on. You can't just take content that is already popular and just shuffle it off to another platform or redistribute it on the same platform that content is already on. You're probably not going to benefit all that much from that content's viral appeal. You have to play around with the title, as well as the commentary, and really add more value to each piece of content. As you can probably tell, this is going to take quite some time, and that is why I suggest that you hire a virtual assistant with solid English skills from places like Fiverr, or if you're looking to save money, Cognoplus.com. If you need expert writing services, you might want to try Upwork, or if you are operating on a budget but need very high quality, try Ozkey.org.